So let's get back to more fun-oriented titles. And let's pick up a big fat whale. Look at this. It's Fables Compendium 2. And it's as huge as Compendium 1. Look at this. This is what a compendium feels like. Even the word is heavy, so we want, when it's a compendium, we want heavy, chunky books. Yeah. So, a word about this series. This Fables series is incredibly popular. I think, I'm not sure if it says, oh no, it won't say. I was trying to understand how many printings it had, but the compendiums just came out, so I don't have that information. But this is by Bill Willingham, an American with a British name. And I have an interesting story about this. We have also, of course, Mark Buckingham, which is also a very important guy in this series, because he's doing the artwork, right? And he's also part of the success. So I was saying that this has been doing the. I was trying to use a Portuguese expression, but I don't find the equivalent in English. So it's making happy various generations because it's been in the market for quite some years. It has been an inspiration for at least one video game that I really enjoyed playing, and this is so good that I know a situation of a person who almost hates American comics. It just likes European comics and thinks that all American comic book writers are, well, I wouldn't say trash, but not good enough, until he read Fables and is in his late 50s, so he is an actual old reader in the almost in the sense of the word. Is not old with 50-ish, of course, but yeah, you can see that he's a mature person. And until he read this, all American creators were crap. But then he picked this up. Actually, it was his son who lent him, and he said, "Oh, you know what? This is actually very good. I didn't know that there were American comic creators that would write such compelling stories, because it's not superheroes. Of course, it's fantasy here, but it's much more than that. It's great character building, great storyline, and on top of it, it's content, hours, days, I don't know, it depends on how fast you read, but at least days of reading, especially if you join both compendiums, then you're in for a marathon. Look at this, and the artwork is very I wouldn't say unique, but it has its own style, and it's very consistent throughout all of the series, which, if it would be today, it would be very hard to maintain the same team behind such long living series with so many issues. It would be very difficult. So let's see the extra special travel supplement with a map of Fable Town. Here we have it. And the gallery with some art, maybe variant covers, I don't know. not too many extras. Okay, these are economic versions, these are not omnibuses or things like that. So, once upon a time, the subjects of fairy tales, like princesses, witches, talking animals, and more, lived far away in a fabled magical realm. But when a savage creature known only as the adversary conquered their home, the characters of folklore were forced to flee to a more mundane world. Disguised among the normal citizens of 21st century New York City, these magical beings have created their own secret society within an exclusive luxury apartment building called Fabletown. Now, after years in exile, the citizens of Fabletown are finally ready to reclaim their homelands. The long brewing war against the adversary's empire is here. Even if our heroes succeed, happily ever after never comes without a price. Yeah, so this is for ages 17 and plus. That's the recommended age. So if you have 17 years at least, go and pick this thing right now. If by the end of all this time you haven't read anything from Bill Willingham and the Fables series, it's the time to do it. Don't waste one more second. Just go and grab it. After that, if you love it, and you're bound to actually love it, you have the Jack of Hearts also, a spin-off, and then the Fairies, which is deemed to be a little bit better than Jack of Hearts, which has divided, it divided the community. Not everyone enjoys it. So I think I will skip this one, because this is a restock mostly. This is Sleeper Book 1 by the great team Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips and Sam Wilson. So we've talked about this, we've lived through it, so yeah, I'll skip it and just say that this is another incredible crime-oriented title by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, with some more ages on top of it. We've seen the Reckless one, the second title, just at the beginning of the video. That's what they're doing now. This is what they were doing back in, what, 2000, I'm not sure, 2019, originally published in 2002, 2003, that's what they were doing. It was this, and they were already rocking. Finally, also a restock, so it's Metropolitan by Warren Ellis, or Ellis, I don't know, and Derek Robertson. So this is another of the great classics that Vertigo gave us. Vertigo went digging for new creative minds, thanks to Karen, the editor-chief of DC, back in the days when Vertigo was a big thing, or when it started being a big thing. And this is one of the gems that came out from it. So Warren Ellis was one of the creators that was found by Karen Berger. And let's take a look. This is issue 3, but it doesn't matter. Just to take a look at the artwork, we can use any volume because they will look alike. So this is a real classic. Once again, we understand perfectly because the same happens to us. It is not possible to know every comic that was ever released, and having read them all, well, it's hard to know them all, less even to have read them all. It takes a lot of money and a lot of time. So if you haven't stumbled upon Transmetropolitan yet, then it's the time to do it. It's not too late, because this book has aged very well. Unlike many comics, you will still enjoy it and feel it fresh and refreshing and up to date. That's what good writers do. They write books that are good no matter when you read them, or at least if you read them 10 years later, they'll still be highly enjoyable. So this is the way that you can find Metropolitan nowadays, one of the easiest ways. These trade paperback that they call books, these trade paperback collections. They're very thick trade paperbacks, that's why they call them books, just to differentiate from a traditional trade paperback, which would have 160 pages or something around that. This must have 200-ish pages, not sure how many. So 2002, Warren Ellis, and this compilation was done in 2020, because the volumes, the trade paperbacks were out of the market, and it made sense to collect them in bigger volumes, and that's what we got here in our hands. So let me read you just a little bit here, so you know what this is about. Let me see. Ellis and Robertson have created an iconic universe, and with it a character that has proven to be prescient. There is an enduring quality to the work here, the clanging of truth. Good old-fashioned mad bastardry. This probed the medium for all it was worth, both visually, verbally, and conceptually. And I'm not going to read the rest, because if you want to start from the first, So Warren Ellis, you might know him from Castlevania. If you haven't seen the animated series, I'd recommend. If you have Netflix, you have Castlevania now. A new series has just come out, at least here in Portugal. I'm watching it, the new episodes. And I really enjoy it. I think it's a great adaptation. It was also a video game. There was a video game also done around it. So Warren Ellis is a great writer, and Derek Robertson is a great illustrator. You might know him from The Boys, for example, or from Happy. So this is a book that will make you trip. Check it out, because it's such a big classic. Now, here we got something that reminds us of a tragic thing that just happened, right? Kentaro Miura has just died yesterday. Well, today, we can, or 2 days ago, because of the time that it is now. So these have become more valuable than ever, because this is the legacy, or at least the biggest part of the legacy he left us. Of course, I'm talking about Berserk, what else, right? And these deluxe editions. This is number 7, so it's the latest one that came out. So there won't be more by the hand of Kentaro Miura. I don't know if his assistants will continue the series, if alternate spin-offs will be made, as to not wanting to touch the series in terms of respect to Kentaro Miura. I think that's what's going to happen. Perhaps we'll have titles that spin off from the Berserk, but I'm convinced that the Berserk as itself as a series will probably see its end here. There won't be more of it. At least in this way. So this is still sealed, and I'm not going to open it, but this is one of those things that even non-manga readers know about, so it requires no introduction. But if you're new to it, know that this is about good and evil, good old battles. There's demons, there's supernatural, and there's the clash between the forces of the white and the dark. Epic fights, incredible storytelling, stunning visuals, and a lot of content. 7 books this thick. Just imagine the quantity. If you happen to like it, and you're bound to like it, just imagine the amount of pleasure you'll be able to squeeze from 7 books with this size, with this thickness. It's hours and hours of entertainment. Yeah, and a very good one. That's almost everyone's favorite manga title. So yeah, there's no safer bet than this. If you're thinking of getting into manga, yeah, this is a great title to start with. So will everyone say, not us, I'm pretty sure. Unless you don't like violence and fantasy, in that case, yeah, it's the wrong manga for you. But there are plenty of other types of manga out there. So yeah, do like myself and get more into manga, and you won't regret it. There's so much thing going on in the manga world that it's a pity to lose on that and just be focused on the big two and on American comics. There's a lot more going on in the comics worldwide. So this is all that we've seen today, and it's a lot. And yeah, I think I've talked enough and bugged you for long enough. So that's it. That's all we wanted to show. A box full of books. I'm sure we got your curiosity, at least on a pair of them. There's books for every taste, and you know where to get it, at deviantfun.biz. If you just want to see these videos like this, and reviews and leaf-throughs, please consider subscribing to this channel and hitting the like in the video. Yeah, and you can also visit us at Facebook and Instagram, where we post these videos and other news about the comics world and etc. So we're very active. You won't regret it if you start following us, I think. We strive to help you finding your best next new book, your best next new read. So until the next video, which will be shorter than this, which I will probably break into 2 or 3. I think I'll have to do it. Please stay safe and well, have excellent reads, and pay us a visit. So until then, it's Deviant Fun out in 3, 2, 1, and a huge thank you for watching, and bye bye.